There is some growing anger over something a district attorney there has done, seen as some, I should say, is retaliation against this accusation of systemic racism inside his office and in the criminal justice system. So here's the deal. That district attorney, Stephen Zappala Jr., banning any kind of plea deal to be made to the defense attorney, Milton Raiford, who made those accusations of systemic racism, or with his clients. Now, Zappala is defending that order, even with concerns from legal experts, from the mayor, from the state's attorney general, one law professor saying it's wrong on so many levels and potentially sanctionable. The order issued after what Zappala called unprofessional conduct by Raiford, although Raiford made clear he was not accusing the prosecutors who handled that particular case being heard at the time of acting inappropriately. Zappala insists his office strives to carry out its mission with the integrity and respect that the residents of Allegheny County deserve. With me now is that defense attorney, Milton Raiford, who practices in Pittsburgh and back in the 80s worked in that same DA's office. Mr. Raiford, good morning. Thank you for being on the show.
Good morning to you. God bless you today.
Thank you. I have to start by noting that NBC News reached out to the district attorney here, to Mr. Zappala, for comment, did not get a reply, but he did say in his statement his directions to deputy DAs on withholding plea orders, which also includes an order for them to memorialize any plea discussions with you, are about, quote, ensuring the office makes consistent evidence-based decisions and avoiding false claims of racism. He also says he took seriously your stated desire not to accept plea offers. What do you make of all of this that's happening?
Whenever you have the head of the police, the district attorney, who's actually was sworn to represent all the residents of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County, I just don't think he understands that. I'm talking about systemic racism. Systemic racism, the spark of the systemic racism happens on the street. It happens at night. It happens out of the sight of the judges. It happens out of the sight from the courts. It happens when they pull over a young African-American male pretextually. Pretextually means that he'll say that his windows are too tinted, that he smells marijuana, that he failed to signal out of a parking spot to the left or to the right, accidentally slowed down, didn't completely stop at the stop sign. That's what happens when a young black man gets out of the car and sits in a car with two of his friends who happen to be black also. And then in Pittsburgh, what happens in neighborhoods of color, which are over-policed, that's when it starts right there. That's when the evidence is based. The evidence based, when he says evidence, he's got to rule in the police, because the evidence that they collect, they don't write the police reports while they're on the scene. They write the police reports once they get back to their office and try to figure out how these reports and how their conduct passes constitutional muster. So because of we have extreme cases like in George Floyd, but we have more than enough cases. Black motorists are stopped in Pittsburgh at 6 times at a greater rate than white motorists, even though we're a fraction of the population, only 23% of the city population. And most of those stops are in neighborhoods of color.
So, Mr. Raiford, how do you want to see this resolved? Because right now it does seem that there is potentially an impasse now between the DA's office here. What to you would be a good resolution in this situation? And I should tell you, I only have about 40 seconds left in my show. I'm sorry.
I think that all people should be treated the same. And I don't think all people should be. I think the police need to be reeled in, because when you get the police to the point where they can just do anything on the street, they're judges on the street. So I would like to see, and also this, what would have happened if LeBron James and all the players that protested for 2 or 3 days, what if they just taken the whole season off? Well, what if they just not played? See, because nobody's in Allegheny County is going to get me to play, because it's a power game, and the poor black people don't have any power because people think that power is money. If a whole pie is made out of rotten apples and you take one slice of that pie, how you can get sick by any slice. A little bit of leaven spoils the whole loaf. So what we got to do is stop playing the game. You can't play the game and expect there to be justice inside of it.